When was the last time that you wrote in cursive? For me, it was writing the notes to this speech. And after writing it, I was thinking, oh no, I'm not writing this in cursive because I can't read my own writing. I guess I should practice a little bit. No calligraphy. Many schools have thought about throwing away this cursive writing idea, and some even have. But I can remember in grade school, sitting on the very edge of my chair in perfect posture, practicing my penmanship. And if I wasn't in perfect posture, my teacher would come by and stick her finger right up my spine. Thus, I had perfect posture. Little did I know how much she would end up benefiting me for teaching me the art of cursive. Honestly, for me to truly have you as my audience understand the importance of cursive writing, we should establish the basic anatomy of the brain. After that, we'll go over our 3 points of development explaining why cursive is necessary for education. First of all, cursive is necessary due to fine motor development and emotional development and cognitive development, which we'll discuss later in the speech. However, the foundation of the speech will be best understood if we discuss our brain's basic anatomy and function. And for the sake of time, we'll limit them to just areas regarding cursive writing. We all know that fine motor skills are of extreme importance in our life. Schwarn explains in his 2013 article, The Anatomy of Movement, that the cerebellum, which is located behind the brain, controls all of our small and fine-tuned movement as well as balance and our position in space. Thus, if I were to close my eyes and hold my hand up in the air, I know, because of my cerebellum, where my hand is in space. Want to see if your cerebellum is working well? Try doing this. It's a small technique that we learned in nursing school. If your finger movements are fluid and ease, then your cerebellum is working pretty well. Let's not underestimate the impact that emotions make on us, though. McKay explains in her 2016 article, How Does the Brain Process Emotions?, that the limbic system controls all of our emotions. The limbic system is found in the inner brain and consists of many parts such as the hippocampus, the hypothalamus, the thalamus, the amygdala, the pituitary gland, and the basal nuclei, and all of these each specialize in different emotions, from basic survival instincts to processing love or extreme anger. And that brings us to cognitive development. Cherry instructs in her 2018 article, A Guide to the Anatomy of the Human Brain, that the cerebrum is the area for cognitive development. The cerebrum consists of 4 lobes: the frontal in blue, the temporal lobe in green, the parietal and the occipital lobe. The parietal in yellow and the occipital lobe in pink. Cursive writing literally uses every part of the brain, and that's something we can conclude from this. Now that we've done that, though, let's dive deeper into the specific aspects of cursive itself. There are numerous fine motor skills developed through cursive writing. It develops the muscles of the hand, the wrist, and the forearm. And since muscle development begins from your trunk and outward, cursive is essential to develop these muscles in your hand. And this is explained by Nadar Steinhardt and Kaz Luer in their 2007 journal, the American Journal of Occupational Therapy. Baker writes in his 2013 article, Cursive Writing, How Important Is It that the nonstop flow of words is easier to form for children first learning how to write. It also develops the cerebellum of the brain to understand fine movements and the position of body in space. Baker explains that there is research that has been done to prove that cursive writing develops a better connection between your hand and your brain. I quote Nadar Steinhardt and Kaz Luer on this because of their wonderful perspective. They genuinely show how cursive writing uses all aspects of the body, for that matter. It says, in order to write with a pencil, the brain has to plan and carry out a set of skills in the correct sequence, starting with the pectoral muscles to the trapezius to your rhomboid muscles, co-activating with the proper force and timing to stabilize the shoulder in order for the fingers and the hand to move the pencil along the paper efficiently. I just find that amazing. And the cursive benefits roll on. Remember that feeling when you finally mastered something you worked so hard on? The emotional development of a child is vital. Cursive writing can give them a sense of confidence in their abilities, a sense of self-discipline, and gives immediate feedback on how they're doing. Kelm explains in his 2013 article the biological and psychological benefits of learning cursive, that once a child masters these academic challenges, they feel a sense of self-confidence, driving their desire to learn and achieve more. They gather self-discipline because of the feedback is instant. The child can see the work and their desired outcome. No one can force them to perfect this skill. It's something that they have to acquire on their own, which is great because they learn how to do something for themselves, gaining a positive and immediate feedback for them. Yes, emotions are vital. However, let's look at another aspect of cursive writing that involves all 4 lobes of your brain. That is cognitive development. And we'll specifically focus on the visual perception here. Baker instructs in his same article written in 2013 that it's easier for children with dyslexia to read and write in cursive. It's a perfect combination of visual and tactile information that helps with hand-eye coordination and eye tracking. It also helps with reading improvement. Baker explains that a study showed that children were able to write faster and develop more ideas when writing in cursive for their writing topics. Cursive writing also uses more of the brain, as shown here, than does typing or reading type. So in conclusion, cursive writing is vital for our educational system. It's a task that requires all of our brain. It's important to remember the 3 areas of development that helps in children though: fine motor development, emotional development, and cognitive development. And with that in mind, will you spread the word that cursive writing should be in our educational system?